Welcome to the Back Bay of Boston on a steamy night from Boston. It's game one of a brief two-game series between the Colorado Rockies and the Boston Red Sox. Hi again, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, and welcome to Red Sox baseball. Well, a tough weekend for the Red Sox against the Tigers. They dropped 3 out of 4, and along the way, some injuries for the Red Sox have led to several roster moves in the last 24 hours. So Boston changing their roster quite a bit. Moves begin with Will Middlebrooks, who was optioned to Pawtucket. He had played in just 2 games over the last 9 days, and overall was hitting at just .192. Taking his spot is Brandon Snyder, who had 10 home runs with the Pawtucket Red Sox this season. To make room for Snyder on the 40-man roster, David Ross was transferred to the 60-day DL with a concussion. Also, Franklin Morales likely to go on the DL before the game tonight. And the Red Sox are expected to recall Pedro Beato at some point during tonight's game. We welcome in and welcome back Jerry Remy. And Jerry, today Will Middlebrooks going back to the Paw Sox. In the end, this could be a good thing for Will.
Well, it could be, but it's going to be very disappointing for Middlebrooks. Here's a guy that came in last season, took a job from Kevin Youkilis, played very well for the Red Sox, and all of a sudden comes back this year and struggles. And you get Jose Iglesias up here, going to third base, playing great defense, great offense, and Middlebrooks is left without at-bats. Now, once you get over the fact that you've been sent down, you go back down there and you start to swing the bat the way you're capable of doing. And that's what he's got to do. Get his confidence back, get his swing back. It's going to be very disappointing to go to the minor leagues, but once you accept that fact and you work on your game, we're going to see him back here, and he will be the third baseman for the Boston Red Sox. But right now, he needs a timeout down at AAA to try to get things back in order.
Well, the Red Sox tonight begin a homestand, and it's interleague time. The Colorado Rockies are here for the first time since 2007. We're back with more right after this. Boston Red Sox. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo. Well, a cluster of moves today for the Red Sox, and one of the new faces for the Boston Red Sox, Brandon Snyder, comes up from the Paw Sox. A little thump in his bat. 10 home runs this season for the Paw Sox. He's part of our Geico quote of the day as he caught up with Jenny Dell.
So, Brandon, when were you officially called up? When did you get the word, and what was the first reaction?
I was sitting on the couch talking to my wife because we were trying to sell our house, and we have a radon problem in our basement. So I'm sitting there getting all mad about that, and she's yelling at me because I didn't call the right guy. And I look on my phone, and I get the phone call from our manager, and it's just a great feeling. I think it was like 12:30, so it was a quick turnaround, but it's just a great feeling, like, to come back and get an opportunity to come up here and try to help out any way I can.
How's everything been going for you in Pawtucket?
It's been going great. It's a great team to be around. It's easy to play well when you have a manager like that with a bunch of group of guys that really want to compete and win, much like here. That kind of atmosphere is kind of filtered down to AAA, which is awesome. And, I was doing really well. Last week I kind of had a rough week, but started coming out of it right at this time, so I'm excited.
How is the past experience that you've had in the big leagues? How are you hoping to use that here with the Red Sox?
Just kind of, you know, those, I mean, obviously you get the nerves. I mean, I remember my first game actually playing ever in left field was here in Fenway, and the nerves here are like anywhere else. They're not, I mean, they're not like anywhere else. So obviously, you know, having a little bit of that to kind of calm me down and know what I've done in the past and succeeded at it. So kind of that stuff, but at the same time, just kind of have a feel for where you go, you know, and I'm just super excited.
And at this point, what positions are you most comfortable in? Where do you think the Red Sox are going to be using you?
Probably mostly on the corner infield positions. You know, they got a bunch of guys who are doing a great job at filling in holes. So just kind of wherever they need me. You know, I'm going to work a little bit in left field. You know, try to learn the wall a little bit, and you know, I got my catcher's gear. You know, I got everything. So anywhere they need me, I'll be ready to go.
He's ready to go. All right, welcome to the Sox. Back to you.
All right, Jenny, thanks very much. Well, tonight on the mound for the Red Sox, a veteran Ryan Dempster, 4-8 on the season, but in his career against the Rockies, 5-4. We're back with the first pitch for Fenway right after this. Your vacation to GoStow.com. Digital Federal Credit Union, bank the DCU way. Dunkin' Donuts. Your New England Buick and GMC dealers. Your local Hyundai dealers. Salem 5 Bank and Pedroia's World. And by Southwest Airlines. Welcome back to steamy Fenway Park as it is hot and humid tonight from Fenway. The Red Sox and the Colorado Rockies meeting for the first time since '07 when the Red Sox were here against the Rockies in the World Series. Let's check out the Rockies batting order for tonight's game, brought to you by Jordan's Furniture. Leading it off is Dexter Fowler for the Rockies in center field. DJ LeMahieu is at second base. Carlos Gonzalez in left field. Michael Kadire, the former Minnesota Twin, in right field with Todd Helton at first base. It is Willeen Rosario doing the catching. Corey Dickerson, the DH, Nolan Arenado at third base bats 8th, and Jonathan Herrera, the shortstop, bats 9th for the Rockies, who come into this series 39 and 38, 3 games back of the Diamondbacks in the National League West. Ryan Dempster is the starter tonight, and we go down the pipe with FWF for the season numbers on tonight's starting pitcher. His 16th start of the year, 4-8 with a 4.23 earned run average, 90 strikeouts in 89 1/3 innings, and opponents hitting at .234 against Dempster.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you on Nesson by Southwest Airlines. They'll have Jose Iglesias at third base, Stephen Drew the shortstop, Dustin Pedroia at second, and Mike Napoli the first baseman. Left to right, Daniel Nava, Jacoby Ellsbury, and Shane Victorino, and Jared Saltalamacchia doing the catching for Dempster.
Umpiring crew tonight from Fenway Park has Phildon Culbreth handling the balls and strikes at home plate. Bill Welke at first base, Adrian Johnson at second base, and Brian O'Nora is the umpire at third. Tonight's game is available in Spanish by pushing the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game.
Buenas noches, amigos.
We've missed that over the last month.
I missed you over the last month.
88 degrees here at Fenway Park. Breeze out to center field at 10 miles per hour. Forecast a chance of thunderstorms, and that thing's moving around. That's never a good thing as the Red Sox and Rockies begin this 2-game series. And welcome back to Jerry. He's already looking for some hot dogs when he first came back, Jerry.
I think I forgot my wallet today.
Now it is on the muggy side here tonight from Fenway Park as the Red Sox return home. A very tough weekend in which they dropped 3 out of 4 to the Detroit Tigers yesterday. A much needed day off, and here we go in a lengthy homestand. First pitch of the ball game is in there for strike 1, and we are underway. Dexter Fowler, the center fielder for the Rockies, at .295 with 10 homers and 26 runs batted in.
It's a very good offense the Red Sox are facing here in the next 2 days. They have leading the National League in runs, in home runs. They can run. They have about 4 or 5 guys at the top of the lineup that love to steal bases.
And former Rocky, the manager of this Rockies team, Walt Weiss, very good shortstop for the Rockies, and now at the helm. This team is in behind Arizona in the National League West by 3 games. They're tied with the Padres to start tonight's action. That is in there for strike 2, 2-2.
And a good sign there for Dempster. Gets a pitch that's just a little bit off that Amica strike zone on the inside part of the plate. If he gets that all night, he's in good shape.
Fouled back. We'll do it again. 2-2. Dempster, a product of no run support for a lot of the season, but now he has had some last few times out, including 17 runs against the Texas Rangers on June the 4th. Then he got 7 runs on the 9th, won both of those games incidentally, but losses each of his last 2 times out at Baltimore and versus Tampa Bay, both losses each of his last 2 times out. Dempster's 16th start of the year. And that's ball 4. Dempster wanted that badly. Saltalamacchia tried to frame it.
Dempster takes a long look in. That's a pretty good pitch. That's a high fastball for a strike. That was not called by Culbreth. And down at first base goes Fowler. Fowler with 12 steals on the season. That's a pretty good pitch right there.
DJ LeMahieu coming up here for the Rockies. LeMahieu, the second baseman, took a .295 average coming in with a home run and 9 runs batted in. And the bunt bid down the third base line. Dempster gives way. So does Iglesias. Now heading for third and stopping on his way by was Fowler. As it's I got it, you take it right there on that little dribbler down the third base line on the bunt bid, and everybody's safe.
Yeah, it looked like it caught everybody by surprise. The second hitter of the ball game dropping a bunt down that third base line. And it looks like Dempster wanted to pick it up. He might have been called off by Iglesias. Regardless, I think if either guy had got that, they would not have had LeMahieu at first base.
So the first two Rockies have reached here in the first inning. And that'll bring up Carlos Gonzalez. Now Gonzalez hitting an even 300. Part of their very good offense. 21 home runs and 57 runs batted in. Gonzalez, the National League leader in home runs with 21 home runs. That is third in the majors behind Chris Davis and Edwin Encarnacion. Chris Davis of the Orioles with 27 home runs on the year.
A lot of unfamiliar names in this lineup, but certainly very good numbers for a lot of these players, and certainly Gonzalez one of those.
Near the top in many offensive categories, if not the top in the National League. He's the one guy you really got to worry about in their lineup. 1-0 is up top for ball two. Another guy that you're normally concerned with is their shortstop, Troy Tulowitzki, who was on the disabled list and not part of this series.
Gonzalez has 9 at bats against Dempster. He is 5 for 9 with a home run against him.
Todd Helton still playing for the Rockies these days. One of the only guys left from the 07 team. 2-0 pitch. And a pop-up in the infield left side. Iglesias will backpedal over to the shortstop side and make the catch.
A good pitch there by Dempster. A 2-0 count, and of course Gonzalez sitting all over a fastball in that hitter's count. Instead, he gets the split-fingered fastball from Dempster, and the result, the pop-up to the infield. There's the splitter. It's down. Gonzalez sitting fastball. He's out in front of it and pops it up.
So a big out there for Dempster. One down in the inning, and here is Michael Kadire. That's out of the 4th spot in the order. Chris Kadire, longtime Minnesota Twin, hitting at .339, 11 home runs, 43 runs batted in. Riding a 21-game hit streak coming into this series, longest by a Rocky since Larry Walker at 21 straight games back in 1999. And as he takes strike one.
Pedroia at second base doing everything he can to keep Fowler close to that bag. As I mentioned, Fowler with 12 steals. And you see how close Pedroia is. He'll be dodging back and forth trying to keep him as close as possible.
On the ground towards short, could be 2. Drew will go to second for 1. On to first. It is 2. So the Rockies threaten but do not score. Dempster does a nice job of getting out of it. Red Sox are coming up. first inning. Red Sox coming up in the bottom of the first. Tonight's Red Sox batting order is brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers. Jacoby Ellsbury leading it off in center field with Shane Victorino back in there in right field, feeling better today. And in the lineup, Dustin Pedroia at second base with David Ortiz at DH. Mike Napoli at first base with Daniel Nava in left, batting sixth. Jared Saltalamacchia does the catching with Stephen Drew at shortstop and Jose Iglesias at third base, bats ninth. For the Rockies, it is Juan Nicasio on the mound, as it's brought to you, his numbers are, by New England Nissan. As his 16th appearance of the year, 4-3 with a 4.78 earned run average, 79 innings, 54 strikeouts, and 28 walks. Opponents hitting at .248 against Nicasio.
And the Red Sox getting a look at Nicasio for the first time. Nobody in the lineup tonight has faced him.
Ellsbury leading it off here in the bottom of the first inning, and that sails outside for ball one. Ellsbury riding a 5-game hitting streak coming in, hitting at .289 overall with a home run and 26 runs batted in. Shoots that fair down the left field line and into the corner as Gonzalez goes to chase it, but Ellsbury into second base with a stand-up double to get it started.
Arenado, the third baseman, playing in tight, protecting the bunt, never moves. Never has a chance to move on that ground ball down the line. A fan reaches over, no contact as it goes all the way down in the corner to the 310, and the leadoff double by Jacoby Ellsbury. The advantage of having that third baseman play tight because of his speed and bunting ability.
So Ellsbury extends a hitting streak to 6 games, and here is Shane Victorino. 285, 3 homers, and 17 runs batted in. Came out of the game on Sunday, late in the game. That back stiffened up on him once again as he ran into the wall in foul ground at Comerica Park in Detroit, and took yesterday to rest and back in the lineup tonight for the Red Sox.
It's the upper back this time that was bothering Victorino, not the lower back like he had earlier in the season.
Seems like it has been one thing or another so far.
Just keeps running into those walls.
That's part of the problem. Shows bunt, little pop-up that is going to be fair. Caught on a hop and the throw in time. Victorino retired, but Ellsbury to third base.
The Rockies defense is brought to you on Nesson by the New England Honda dealers. They are 6th to the National League with 46 errors in 77 games. Nolan Ariado at third base, Jonathan Herrera the shortstop, DJ LeMahieu at second, and Todd Helton the first baseman, Carlos Gonzalez in left, Dexter Fowler in center, Michael Kadire in right, and Rosario doing the catching for Nicasio.
One out, Ellsbury at third base, and it brings up Dustin Pedroia. He is credited for his sacrifice on that, but for a base hit, do you think, Jerry, here in the first inning?
I think trying for a base hit, but of course, usually when that happens and you move that runner along, you do get the sacrifice. I don't think the Red Sox are playing for 1 run in this ball game in the first.
Didn't seem to make much sense. But he does get the sacrifice, and Ellsbury now 90 feet away. Pedroia into right field for a base hit. Here comes from third base, Jacoby Ellsbury. And the Red Sox take a 1-0 lead just like that.
Pedroia picking up his 42nd RBI of the season. We've seen him, I think, Don, this year go more to the opposite field, and I think, than we've ever seen him in a Red Sox uniform. He gets that fastball middle away, takes it to the opposite field. The Red Sox have the 1-0 lead.
His 250th career RBI at Fenway Park. And Jerry, it seems that's the way he's been pitching him, and that's the way he's going.
And that's a great sign for Pedroia. Not trying to pull the ball, not trying to work into their hands, taking what they're giving him, and getting a lot of base hits the other way.
And he drives in the game's first run, and here is David Ortiz. Through 16 homers, 55 runs batted in for Big Papi. David in the last 7 games hitting at .429. And on Saturday registered his team leading 16th home run of the year. Shift on for him here in the infield on the right side. Framed by Rosario, but it's away 2-0.
Change up that time at 82 miles an hour. Still trying to stay away. First 2 pitches away from Ortiz. Trying to get him to hook the ball into the shift.
Nicasio with a fastball, slider, and a changeup in his arsenal. Trying to pick up the outside corner and cannot.
You know, Ortiz was taking that all the way. He wasn't even in a hitting position when that pitch came in. He was taking that 2-0 pitch all the way. You can see Ortiz right there, not even cocked in that hitting position.
Ball 4, not close. And down to first base goes Big Papi. Let's send it down to Jenny Dell.
Well, Don, today the Red Sox are opening a quick 2-game series against the Colorado Rockies. So for our AT&T Twitter question of the day, we'd like to ask the fans at home what they like most about watching the Red Sox compete against teams that they don't see on a consistent basis. Send us your tweets using the hashtag FenwayVisit, and we'll reveal the best ones later in the game.
Hashtag FenwayVisit. And for Todd Helton and the Rockies, first time they have been here since the 2007 World Series. Red Sox, of course, have been to Colorado since then. And Helton's the only guy returning here from that squad. Actually, they also have Yorvit Torrealba on their roster. He was also, at the time, their starting catcher. There's Mike Napoli hitting a .260, 9 homers and 50 runs batted in. In the dirt outside, and Rosario to his right. Napoli hitting successfully in 5 of his last 6 games. Two and 0. Great numbers in 10 games. 20 career interleague home runs. As he takes a pitch away, 3-0. Not sharp here in the first is Nicasio.
No, and the 3-4 hitters for the Red Sox, excuse me, the 4-5 hitters for the Red Sox, Ortiz, Napoli being very, very patient with him.
That is 7 straight balls. Jim Wright, the pitching coach with the Rockies. The pitch is in there for a strike, 3-1.
Tough to give the guy a green light when the pitcher for the last 2 hitters has been all over the place, and that time Napoli does not get the green light.
First inning has been a problem for Nicasio. 11 earned runs and a 6.60 earned run average in the first innings, already given up a run. That's ball 4, and the bases are now loaded. Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center, the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox, invites you to join the walking club. Sign up today and get a cool wristband plus everything you need to start a walking program for better health. Find out more at bidmc.org. Well, Nicasio having some problems with walks here in the first inning, as the base is now loaded with 1 out and a run in.
Well, the Red Sox have an excellent opportunity here early in the ball game to open this thing up very, very quickly. They've got a pitcher struggling out there. What a great time for Nava to be hitting. Bases loaded. He just walks back-to-back guys. I'd be sitting on that first fastball.
Well, Nava hitting at .274. 10 homers and 45 runs batted in. A very controversial call on Sunday in the final game of that series.
It was a catch, wasn't it, Don?
I thought it was.
Yeah.
Sixth member of the Red Sox to bat here in the first inning. And that is in there for strike 1. It was a fastball, and it was 95 miles an hour. Pedroia at third, Ortiz at second, and Napoli at first. 1 out in the Boston first inning. Here's strike two.
That's two pretty nasty fastballs after being wild. Both fastballs away outside part of the plate. And of course Nava in this situation looking middle in.
Close but called ball. Just off the outside edge and a little down. 1-2. This season 3 for 8 is Daniel Nava with the bases loaded. Red Sox tied for the major league lead with 4 grand slams. This is blooped to left, and it's going to fall in for a base hit. Here comes Pedroia. Red Sox take a 2-0 lead.
Well, you take them any way you can get them. Just a little slice off the bat of Daniel Nava drops in front of Gonzalez out there in left field, and it's base to base as the Red Sox pick up another run. They finally come inside. It actually jams Nava a little bit, but he's able to muscle the ball and drop it out in left field for the base hit.
Bases loaded, 1 down, 2-0. Red Sox have the lead. Here is Jared Saltalamacchia, and he'll take strike one. 262 average. Start the night for Salty. 8 homers, 29 runs batted in. That's in there for strike two. Swing and a miss, and Saltalamacchia strikes out. That's the first strikeout for Nicasio. 2 down in the inning.
And a big one right there with the bases loaded. What he does, he goes to the slider to pick up the strikeout. The pitch zone on Nesson is brought to you by Amica. Amica Insurance. Great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance.
Now 2 down here in the first inning. Bases still loaded, and Stephen Drew coming up. 221 average, 5 homers, 28 runs batted in for Drew. Juan Nicasio, 26 years old, stands at 6'3", 230 pounds, from the Dominican Republic. Parts of 3 years now with the Rockies in the majors. And a low strike call. A little low, a little too low for Stephen Drew's liking. Drew 1 for 7 this season with the bases loaded. The one hit was a grand slam. And he'll line this foul. Nice catch on the phone.
He's already telling everybody at home what a great play he just made. Watch it on replay. Honora, the third base umpire, getting out of the way. A few bounces, and
it wasn't so great. He
didn't even break up the conversation.
Inside 2-2. Good first inning for the Red Sox here. Have already grabbed 2 runs off Nicasio here in the first inning, looking for more. Mentioned the first inning is a trouble inning for him. And a pop up here, foul off third. Arenado's got to play, and he makes it to end the inning. Now the Red Sox score twice. It's 2-0 Boston at the end of 1 on a warm night from Fenway. top 2-0. And it's never too hot to wear a Wally hat to Fenway Park. This one fouled back by Todd Helton. Helton hitting at .252 start the night. 6 homers, 26 runs batted in. He's gone 3 for 9 as he steps in here in his last 3 games. And takes pitch in there for strike 2. It's part of our key matchup brought to you by Honda. Been in the National League a long time, and so is Ryan Dempster. They had the chance to hook up in 24 at bats and .417 average, 3 home runs. And this one right back at him, picked by Dempster, and Dempster wins this battle.
Well, Dempster had himself in a very good fielding position. It was a split-fingered fastball, a bit of an off-speed pitch, which gave him time to get in a pretty good position to catch that line drive right off to his glove side. Watch how he squares up with home plate. Ball right back to him. Gets that glove up very quickly and records the out. Nice play by Dempster.
One down here in the 2nd inning. And here is Willeen Rosario. .259, 11 homers, and 37 runs batted in. Led all National League rookies in home runs, RBIs, and slugging percentage a year ago. As this one is chopped foul. Highest by a rookie catcher in the majors since Mike Piazza set the all-time rookie catcher mark with a .561 slugging percentage back in 1993. Last 9 games hitting at .387. Dempster in his career against the Rockies 5-4. But a higher earned run average, 6.96 ERA against the Rockies. Another pitch that Dempster wanted, 3-1.
It's a couple of times now Ryan's wanted that high strike and has not been able to get it from fielding Culver, the home plate umpire. That one may have been a little bit too high.
In the air to deep left field for Rosario, and that ball is gone. Up over everything in left field for Rosario. His 12th home run of the year. Into the parking lot across the street. First run of the night for the Rockies, and it's now 2-1.
Now they have some pop. We told you they lead the National League in runs. They lead it in home runs, and Rosario picks up number 12 of the season. It's a slider from Dempster that hangs out over the plate, not exactly where he wanted that. He wanted it down and away, and Rosario makes it a 2-1 ball game.
That is the 17th home run given up by Dempster on the year, and 14 of them have come here at Fenway Park. There's Corey Dickerson with a swing and a miss at the first pitch. Foul tipped. Well, for Rosario, his 12th home run of the year. The Rockies with a quick answer here in the top of the 2nd inning. Late swing, fouled off to the left. Dickerson making his major league debut on the 22nd of June at Washington. As you saw, 2 for 4 so far in the majors. He is the DH. Began the season with Colorado Springs, the AAA team in the Rockies system, hitting at .386, 9 home runs, 38 RBIs at the time of his call-up. In the dirt, 1-2. Nolan Arenado waiting on deck, third baseman for the Rockies. On the ground down the first baseline foul.
I'll see if Dempster can take care of the aggressiveness of Dickerson. He really likes to swing the bat. And 0-2 count. There was a pitch that was up around his neck, and he was still swinging at it. That time pulling the breaking ball foul. See if he follows up with something away. Let's see what Saltalamacchia calls. Looks like he wants to slide it.
And it's on the ground right side. Pedroia sprawling to the outfield grass, throws him out.
Pedroia, knowing that the breaking ball's coming, shortstop, second baseman, they can see the signs, and that leads him to lean a little bit to his left, knowing it's a breaking ball with the left-handed hitter at the plate, able to make the sliding play and get the out at first base.
So 2 down here in the second inning, and it brings up Nolan Arenado. 257, 7 homers, 22 runs batted in, and he rips this by the third baseman Iglesias into the left field corner, dug out by Nava, but not before Arenado is at second base standing with a double. These guys come swinging the bats.
They sure do, and the last 3 have been on sliders. It was a slider for a home run, a slider that Dickerson made an out on, and a slider that Arenado takes down that third base line for the 2-out double. They don't walk very much. They're 10th in the National League in walks. They're 15th in strikeouts. They strike out a lot.
2 down in the inning. Here's Jonathan Herrera out of the number 9 spot. He'll take a pitch up and away. For Dempster, the 6.96 ERA against the Rockies is the highest against any National League opponent in his career. So had the most problems there. You got to take into account, of course, Coors Field, and pitching there is always tough from any pitcher's standpoint. In there for strike 1, 1-1.
Now, stunned today when I was looking at the stats, Don, and you talk about Coors Field, and this pitching staff has allowed the second fewest home runs in the National League in that ballpark. That's incredible.
Very surprising. Well, Weiss's team second in the league as this pitch misses inside. Dempster has a 10.93 ERA at Coors Field. That certainly does not help his overall ERA against the Rockies. Now it's to second. Pedroia on to first for the out. That will end the inning. Well, Rosario's home run gets the Rockies on the board. Jose Iglesias will lead it off, and we come back. DCU. That's his pregame coverage of the Sox. Begins an hour before every game. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union, banking the DCU way. Well, a young Rockies fan here from Colorado as we head into the bottom of the second inning. Jose Iglesias, Jacoby Ellsbury, Shane Victorino to bat. And 8 Red Sox batted in the first inning, and 2 of them scored against Juan Nicasio. Iglesias at 426, the home run, 7 runs batted in. Here's a pop-up, foul off first, Helton and Rosario, and it's Helton who makes the catch for the first out of the bottom of the second inning. Three in a row now retired by Nicasio, and it's back up top for Jacoby Ellsbury. Ellsbury doubling in the first inning, coming around to score the Red Sox first run. Well, Jerry, when you went on the DL, the Red Sox were in first place. You returned activated tonight off the DL, and they are still in first place.
Yeah, has been some bumps along the road as they've gone along, but still remain 2.5 games above New York and Baltimore. And when you look at the American League East right now, Toronto surging 5.5 games back, playing great baseball, and I think everybody anticipated that at some point. And of course, they come in for 4 games on this homestand, so should be very interesting.
It's a matter of time. They just had their 11-game winning streak snapped as Tampa Bay got to them. The AL East standings are brought to you by Buick. See the entire luxurious lineup at Buick.com. And we'll get a good look, as Jerry said, of the Blue Jays in a 4-game series. Offensive swing fouled off down the third baseline.
As we talked in the open about Middlebrooks going down to AAA, probably starting to play there tomorrow, and I know what a tough thing that's going to be for him. A guy that came up last year and had great success here, off to a tough start this season. You see Iglesias come up, and he takes the job at third base, and you can't get better if you can't get at bats.
This is to third. Arenado slings it across for the second out of the inning.
And those at bats will come down at AAA. And you know, it's got to be tough for him. It's always tough for a guy to have to go back down to the minor leagues, but I think in the long run, when you look back at it a month from now, you might say it's the best thing that possibly could have happened to him, to go back down there and get his swing together and get his confidence back, probably more than anything else right now.
Well, certainly a tough situation for him. And talking to John Farrell, a tough situation for him also, as far as Iglesias hitting so well. He really forced his hand. He had to play him. I
don't think anybody expected that. I think defensively they expected him to play okay, but nobody expected him to hit the way he has.
He's found all kinds of way to get on base. And there's a pitch in there for a strike. He's been bunting at times. He's doing things that we never saw from him before.
And of course, the more hits you get at the big league level, your confidence builds, and it just makes you better.
Shane Victorino, a sac bunt, his first time up. Yes, he takes a strike. Didn't like it, and is down 1-2. So sliced foul off to the left. In the air down the left field line. Gonzalez on the run is not going to get there. In front of him, he picks it up, headed to second base. Victorino going to be close, and he is just in. He elected not to slide for some reason, but he gets in barely.
He did a couple of things. He hesitated around first base, and I thought he was going to stop. And then he decides to go to second base. I thought he was going to slide, and he doesn't. And he's still in scoring position with 2 outs.
I think Carlos Gonzalez got a great arm out there in left field.
Watch him around first base. He kind of slows up. I thought he was going to stop. He continues on. The play's in front of him. And no slide, and just barely getting in safely at second base. Very dangerous by Victorino, but a man in scoring position.
Now Pedroia's already driven in 1 run in the game. And now takes a strike over the outside corner. They work him away again. Ball and a strike to Pedroia. And Pedroia's always enjoyed interleague, a .333 hitter against the National League. Line to right, and that's in for a base hit. Victorino around from second base. Kadire digs it out. Pedroia to second base with an RBI double, and the Red Sox take a 3-1 lead. Pedroia's second hit and his second RBI of the night.
Yeah, and second time he's gone to the opposite field. The first time he did it, it was a low fastball. This time it's a high fastball away that he takes over the head of Helton. That's just flat out good hitting in 2 straight at bats by Dustin Pedroia.
So 2 down, Pedroia at second base, and here's David Ortiz, who on 4 pitches took the walk in the first inning. All the pitches away from him, and here's some more. Mazario's going to go out and talk to Nicasio.
These are dangerous times. First base open, and of course Nicasio trying to be very fine with Ortiz at the plate. Every once in a while they make that mistake, and when they make that mistake, David will make you pay.
Outside for ball 2, 2-0. Everything's been away.
Yep.
And then he finally comes in, and Ortiz grounds it foul into the Red Sox dugout.
Yeah, and Ortiz was ready for that too. You know, he, as you mentioned, Don, he saw everything away in his first bat, first 2 pitches away in his second at bat, and then he tries to sneak the fastball by him inside, but Ortiz is ready for it. He does foul it off, but that's where he was looking, middle in.
Ortiz jacks this towards deep left center field, back towards the wall, and that ball is going to be off the wall. From second comes Pedroia. 2 second goes Big Papi, and the Red Sox lead it 4-1. Opposite field power for David Ortiz there, and the Red Sox grabbing a couple of 2-out RBIs.
Yeah, the impressive thing about this too is he takes a pitch that's basically right down the middle of the plate and moves it to the opposite field off the wall. That ball is down in the strike zone, more toward the middle than the outside, takes it off the wall, and, well, they started off pitching around to him to decide to come after him, and as I said, David will make you pay.
So with 2 outs, the double by Victorino, the double by Pedroia, the double by Ortiz. And it's 4-1 Boston as Napoli takes ball 1. Mike walked in the first inning, and 2 walks given up by Nicasio so far in the game. Napoli lays off, and that's ball 2. There's a strike, and it just did pick up the corner. 2-1. 50th pitch coming up for Nicasio of his outing in just an inning and 2/3. And that's in there for strike 2. He's had to work hard.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's where he wanted that slider either, on the inside part of the plate, but he does pick up the strike with it. You see the catcher set up inside, so maybe they were expecting the breaking ball in that area.
This one fouled off to the right, still 2-2. But coming up tomorrow on Dennis and Callahan, DNC will discuss Doc Rivers officially becoming head coach of the Clippers and get you up to date on the latest with Aaron Hernandez and the Sox. It all begins at 6 a.m. here on Nesson at 93.7 WEEI FM. Pedro's in the house. Breaking ball fouled back, still 2-2. Rangers tonight are at New York to take on the Yankees and Texas with a 1-0 advantage in the 3rd inning at Yankee Stadium. Darvish and Kuroda going head to head there tonight. Another foul off to the right. Meanwhile, Cleveland is at Baltimore tonight. They're in the 4th inning at Camden Yards, and the Indians have a 1-0 advantage over the O's. Red Sox starting the night with a 2.5 game lead over New York and Baltimore. Full count to Napoli. Loop towards right center field, and that's going to fall for a base hit. Around from second comes David Ortiz, and the Red Sox take a 5-1 lead. That ball kind of golfed out to right center field that time by Napoli.
Remember about 3 or 4 pitches ago, they tried that slider inside against Napoli. Well, they try it again. And this time, Napoli just slices it to the opposite field. That's almost the exact same pitch, but Napoli able to get the hands inside the baseball and fight it off to the opposite field to bring in a run. So Napoli picks up his 51st RBI of the season.
Ends up being a 9-pitch at bat. Right, the pitching coach back out there again, who talked to Nicasio. He's been out there in each of the first 2 innings. And a 5-1 Red Sox lead. Are you a leader of a group of 20 or more? If so, a Red Sox game at Fenway Park is the perfect place for your next outing. Call 617-226-6835 to talk to the group ticket representative to plan the perfect trip to Fenway Park. There is Daniel Nava, 7th member of the Red Sox to bat here in the 2nd inning. In there for strike 1. Chopped right side, and this is going to get into right field. Napoli will head for third. The throw in that direction is cut off. And the Red Sox have runners at first and third with 2 down, and that is now 5 straight hits with 2 outs in the inning.
That's demoralizing for the Rockies. 2 out runs, and the Red Sox have piled up a bunch of them in this inning. Nava 2 for 2 on the night after being 1 for his last 10. Hooks that ball by the dive of LeMahieu. LeMahieu at second base. And Napoli moves all the way to third.
So they're at the corners now, 2 down in the inning. And Jared Saltalamacchia, the batter, he struck out swinging in the first inning, the only strikeout for Nicasio in his outing. 30th pitch of the inning. And it is going to miss. Napoli at third, Nava at first with 2 down. Fouled off to the left, 1-1. Two and one. Still no action for the Rockies in their pen. Nicasio trying to get out of this second inning. So far he's given up 5 runs on 8 hits in an inning and 2/3. Fouled off, 2-2.
Walt Wise certainly familiar with the Fenway Park and knows that you can score a lot of runs in this ballpark. Nice catch, two-handed. And you also can burn out a bullpen very quickly, so nobody loosening at this point.
Brief 2-game series, play late day baseball tomorrow, 4 o'clock from Fenway Park. 2-2. Another foul off to the left. First action we've seen in the pen is Adam Ottavini. Tefino is up in the pen.